What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing a recap of the Giants' loss to the Cleveland Browns 10-6 in the second preseason game of their preseason Monday Night Football. We struggled. We did struggle a lot. Our defense didn't play too bad. We did give up some pretty bad plays here and there, but our defense didn't play too bad overall. It was our offense that was really the problem, just like last week. So we score a total of, what was it, 6 field goals so far in the preseason, 0 touchdowns. So that's a big problem. And it's not really a problem of I'm concerned about our offense going into the season because we're not playing all out. This is vanilla offenses. But I just want to see us score some points. I'm not really worried to the point where, I feel like it's going to affect the regular season in a big way, but I'm just kind of concerned that why haven't we been able to score points, put up points in the preseason when Eli was playing, a big chunk of the first half, and it's kind of, disappointing, I guess you could say, disappointing. So I really wanted us to score some points, but it's not. I really don't care that we didn't win the game. I just wanted us to score some points, put some touchdowns on the board, and go from there. So let's just get into the review. The offensive line, it was all right. It wasn't nothing to be excited about, but yet it wasn't great, right? So the pass protection wasn't spectacular, but it held its own. Eric Flowers didn't allow any sack except that sack on Myles Garrett, got a sack on Geno Smith. And really, you got to count it in the stat sheets. But, look at it. Just keep looking at it. Geno Smith ran right into Myles Garrett, held the ball for too long, didn't throw it away, just ran outside the pocket. Eric Flowers had him for a good few seconds. But, once you got somebody and your quarterback gets from out of behind you, there's nothing you can do. You can't hold Myles Garrett. So, otherwise he would have got called for that. So, there was really nothing Eric Flowers could have done at that point. But, and then the running game, again, we can't open up holes for our running backs to run through. And Paul Perkins, again, not looking like he should be starting day one against Dallas. I'm telling you guys, I said this from last year when you guys were saying Paul Perkins should be our starter. I told you guys he is not ready yet. This guy is not ready yet to be a full-time starter. Think about it when it comes into the season, and he's taking handoffs, just pausing, waiting for a hole to open. When he takes a handoff, he literally just takes the handoff, decelerates, and just waits for a hole to open, and winds up getting tackled for a 4 or 5 yard loss. I've seen it happen a couple times in yesterday's game and last week's game. He just sits there instead of shuffling his feet, getting ready to make any defenders miss that broke through the line, which is going to happen quite often with this offensive line. He's not shuffling his feet. He's not keep moving his feet. You got to keep moving your feet, especially when you're looking for a hole, because you don't know what direction you're going to take. You can't just sit there and wait for a hole to open up. I've never seen that from a running back. It was pitiful. I don't know what it was. It was just, wow. I couldn't believe what he was doing. So there's that. And on top of that, when he does make contact with the defender, he kind of just softly lets them tackle him, which makes no sense. So it's going to be hard for him to break through. I think he just kind of gives up sometimes. I saw Rashad Jennings do that last year. He just kind of gave up once he went through a hole, and no holes were opening up for him, and so he would just get to a defender, kind of give up. So there's that. Orleans Darkwa actually didn't play too bad. I like the way Orleans Darkwa played. His vision is great. I have no problem with Orleans Darkwa's vision. His problem is his consistency. Sometimes he does great, he runs great, and sometimes, he doesn't. So on top of that, he has some injury problems. So I really think that Orleans Darkwa should be the starter in day one, but we'll see what happens. Wayne Gallman did very well. I like the way Wayne Gallman played. He's another guy that plays great, but I don't really see him as being a starter. I don't think he's ready for that role either. Like I said, I think he's just a bigger and stronger and possibly even faster running back than Paul Perkins. So I don't think, they're kind of the same running back in my opinion. Shane Vereen, actually, I think Shane Vereen played a little bit, and I think he did pretty well. As far as running the ball, when he was running the ball, he was doing pretty well. Eli couldn't find anybody. He missed Evan Ingram on what could have been a touchdown, our first touchdown of the preseason, but it was tipped by, I think his name is, forgive me, I think his name is Mike Schobert. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying that because he's a Mike linebacker, but it's Schobert. He almost got a great pick on Eli. He's fighting for a middle linebacker spot, so he was doing exceptionally well at playing against us yesterday. So shouts out to Schobert out there, really trying to earn that middle linebacker position for the Browns. And then Eli missed Brandon Marshall on a go route. It was a combination of Eli's accuracy and a combination of Brandon Marshall not wanting to be hit. It looked like he was trying to avoid the hit, which is just fine with me because it's the preseason. You don't need to lay out for a catch in the preseason, so which is completely fine for me. He wound up getting checked out for a shoulder injury, which I think is just precautionary. I think they just don't want to see anything escalate to where he's missing games in the regular season. So I think it's just precautionary. I don't think we should worry about his shoulder too much, that regarding of Brandon Marshall. So, and then Odell, with his injury, the ankle injury, I thought it was going to be an ACL injury in the knee because it looked pretty bad, but I'm hearing that it's a sprained ankle, which is probably the least of our worries. He also got checked out and was cleared for a concussion, so he passed a concussion protocol test. So there's that. So let's get on to the defense. The defensive line had pressure throughout the whole entire game. I'm very proud of the D-line. The only thing I have that we need to work on, that the D-line needs to work on, is definitely the runs inside the A and B gap. I thought, with the kind of talent we have at defensive tackle, that we should be able to stop those more easily, get some tackles for loss, get some tackles for no gains. But I'm starting to see us give up some third and shorts. So that's not something I want to see, especially with the talent we got at defensive tackle. So that's something I want to see us stop, some A and B gap rushes. But as far as pressure goes, the starters from Olivier Vernon and JPP, there's no denying they were on their game. You also got a Olivier Vernon that had another sack but was negated by a BJ Goodson illegal contact call. So he would have had another sack. JPP had a great sack, had pressure the whole game, also had an interception. How about that? They played very well. I think it was Olivier Vernon that batted the pass too. So that those two as a duo are virtually unstoppable. And then you got Romeo Okwara, Devin Taylor, Kerry Wynn, and even Avery Moss. All four of them, which I mentioned, were completely dominating the tackles that I've seen. They're doing very well as pass rushers. So I'm looking forward to see who makes the roster and how the depth chart is going to be shaping up, because we got some great D-line as far as defensive ends goes. Defensive end depth. I can't wait to see that happen. So moving on to the secondary in the linebackers too. How about BJ Goodson? He's been playing pretty well. His pursuit, because he's not the fastest of all linebackers, his pursuit is kind of, a little scary with the running backs, the faster running backs. It's harder for him to get there, which is going to be a problem. That's why we got Keenan Robinson, but he's not going to be able to play because he's injured right now. So we're just letting him sit out for right now. So, BJ Goodson, definitely as a pass rusher too, a pass rushing middle linebacker, already has 2 sacks in the preseason. So he's doing very well, both coming from the A-gap on an A-gap middle linebacker blitz. So good job on him. He's definitely making a case to be the starter at middle linebacker. And then the secondary played pretty well. Valentino Blake, he's just garbage. This guy is... I told you guys when we signed him that he was just garbage. He's just a special teams player that comes in sometimes to play some defensive snaps, but he's mostly a special teams guy. And he actually did pretty good in the special teams too. So as far as special teams go, that's what he is. And Michael Hunter, we're hoping that he's our guy at the 4th cornerback spot. We're hoping so. He struggled a little bit in this game, but I see him play pretty well at Pittsburgh, so he's on and off. And then how about Dante Dion? Dante Dion played pretty damn well yesterday, and hopefully he makes this roster. He also had an interception that was negated by some kind of holding call. I don't know who it was, unless it was Dante Dion with a holding call, but it was negated. And, whether it counts or not, that's definitely helping his case at making the roster. He does struggle at man coverage because he's a small guy, so he does struggle at man coverage, but I'm hoping he just, gets better at that. So, anything else I've got to say? Oh, I also wish during the 2-minute drill when we had a chance to win the game, we had the ball at the final possession. I was hoping that that they would give it to Davis Webb and see what he can do. And it's not like the game matters. We already seen what we got from Geno Smith, who played most of the game. We seen what happened with Josh Johnson. I think he had 1 or 2 drives. He did nothing, completely ineffective. So I would have liked to seen what Davis Webb could have done on the 2-minute drill to potentially win the game. That would have been pretty good to see, and it would kind of boost the fans' confidence at Davis Webb as a future heir for Eli Manning. So I would have liked to see Davis Webb finish off that game with a 2-minute drive. Whether he failed or not, I would have liked to see that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Anything I missed that you guys want to mention, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, keep track of my gaming channel. I'll put the link in the description. I already have a video up, and that is Rainbow Six Siege ranked gameplay. So go ahead and watch that. And then I'm going to be recording a bunch of Madden 18, guys. It's going to be insane. A bunch of Madden 18 because I'm downloading it right now. And hopefully I'll get a video up by probably, I don't know, less likely to be today, but more likely to be tomorrow. I'll have a video up on Madden 18. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but keep out for that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.